go. Okay, I won't say anything.
Change it. I think that's one of the reasons why Clinton won. You know, Clinton had this no matter what.
I'll tell you, when we first had this conversation about the letters, you were right. And
you know, I was just playing it up, and these guys are like, "What? It has a boost!" You know, I mean, you know, for 25-year-old guys.
Poor job of organizing, poor job of educating too.
All right, I don't think was audio working on that intro. I know it's working now.
I never hear the intro.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know if there was audio on the intro, but at least we are live. We're live. Oh, Bill says audio is fine. Audio is fine.
Basically, what you're saying is the very first thing that you did for 2022
is fuck up the stream. Audio. Yeah, no, I think it was working. Bill says audio is fine so far. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Phil, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how are you? Hello, everybody out there. I know, and you know what? There's a lot of people I want to say, Larry, I'm glad you're here. Craig is here. PSS, Pam, I miss you too. No, I haven't been doing the videos, and I've been a much happier person.
I don't blame you by that at all.
And Army Man Brad, and you know, there's a couple people that we want to thank and talk about tonight, and a couple things that I want to talk about too, and most specifically, the stocking contest and the decorations on tasterjuice.com. We'll get to that a little bit later on.
All right. All right. That sounds exciting. Let me just make sure your audio is good. Feels a little bit low. Okay, I fixed him. So everything should be okay.
There's somebody else I want to say hello to.
Oh.
Breeze Tones.
Yes, Breeze Tones. Yes. He's in the chat. How you doing, buddy?
I saw him in the chat. Matter of fact, I have this set up here. I think if I push this button right here, look at that. Look what I got for him.
Oh, it's exciting. Are you gonna do like a live install today?
I might. I don't know. I might. It depends. Like if you get on one of your Greek rolls, like like start talking.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I'll just start building.
No, I won't. I appreciate the guy all the way from Australia sending some coils out to try out.
These coils may have traveled further. What would travel further? Something from China or something from Australia?
Probably about the same. About the same.
Okay.
Yeah, about the same. But
came a long way.
We've been testing, you know, the Zenith 2. We've been testing the Z-Force. We've been testing all these replaceable coil tanks that I haven't given my Aries a lot of love. So it just gave me a reason to build it. So I dropped one of his MTO coils in the Aries, and I've been vaping on it for the last 2-3 days. So I've been really enjoying it. But you know, I mean, you know how I am, Phil, when it comes to coils like that. Like, will you tell me that I'm able to like specific pinpoint like gourmet flavor notes and shit like that? I'm not. I'm not. But it tastes good. It's great MTL coil, 0.5. Mine came out like 0.58. I gave it a little bit extra twist because the Aries deck sits, you know, across from each other, and it's not both legs coming in. So I've been really enjoying it. It's a little MTL alien. So thanks. We really appreciate Adam for doing that. And I have some sub-ohm coils. He sent some to try out. So I might throw them on Matt Coley's atomizer. I haven't used that in a very long time when I go to Greece at the end of the month. So yeah. Thanks.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. We
Yeah.
don't get a whole lot of stuff anymore. So
Yeah. We definitely don't have the pool, but what we do get is still love and concern. A lot of people message us, and we're asking for shows over the holidays, but unfortunately, you know, due to me being in Greece until very, very close to Christmas, I was there until the 20th of December. And then of course we had the holiday season. Phil went up to see his parents. How was that? How was going to New Jersey in December for you, Florida boy?
Fucking cold.
Was it?
Even when it wasn't cold, it was cold, right? For me, it was cold. But it was nice. I noticed now when I go to Jersey or go to New York, I feel completely different about the area now after being here for, I guess, going on good 5 or 6 years now, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
I feel claustrophobic. I think that's the best word that I could use. The streets are smaller. The houses are closer together. The ceilings aren't as high. There's more people. Things are dirtier because of, you know, the snow and the salt and the leaves and everything. It's I feel a lot different. When I get there, I'm like, why do people still live here? Like, how come not everybody's? And believe me, a lot of people are moving to Florida, but you know, so outside of, like, the good part is I get to see my family, right? I get to see my family, get to go to the house that I grew up in, and that's the good part about it, right?
Yeah.
But everything else, there's nothing that I miss about being up there. I miss the fall a little bit. I miss the beginning of the fall when the colors change. And I miss the things that go along with the fall.
Yeah.
I miss the apple picking. I miss the apple cider donuts. I miss the cider. I miss going to the farms, right? So that stuff I truly, truly miss. But that's like that much time of the season that I miss, because as soon as that's over, the leaves fall and you got to rake them. Right.
Yeah,
So,
I don't mind like a little crispiness. I don't like extreme cold, obviously, but I don't mind a little crispiness. I enjoy that. That's probably one of my favorite seasons where, you know, you put like a little sweater on, but you know, you don't have to go full blown jacket. You can sit outside still and enjoy a warm cup of coffee. Greece, the weather was pretty crappy. It was raining a lot when I was there. Only when I went to Albania for a week, the weather was actually fantastic. It was crisp, like I was telling you, but still sun outside, and I really, really enjoyed that trip. But when we got back after the holidays, my daughter had booked a cabin. It was like one of my Christmas presents for us to go up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is a couple hours from here. And we get up to the cabin, we go, you know, buy some stuff, and it was nice. It was a 3-story cabin, hot tub, pool table, just, you know, I mean, it was really nice, like 3 guest suites and stuff like that. Let me pump you up just a little bit more.
yeah, they're saying I'm a little low. How's this? Is this better, guys? Check 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that should be good.
Hello.
That should balance out right there. And and the second day we're there, we wake up and there's literally a foot of snow outside, just covered everything up. We couldn't get down from the mountain. Thankfully, we had bought just a few supplies because we weren't planning. I didn't want to cook. You know, I'm on vacation. I just want to sit and enjoy myself. But thankfully, we had gotten some stuff from the store and we had something to eat for the next day before we were able to get out. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty quiet holiday season, and with this pandemic, that's just ripping us apart. I feel today. I went to a party Saturday night. It was out in a restaurant for my friend's 60th birthday party, and I don't feel good. I woke up today with a very bad sore throat. I don't know what it could be. Just a sore throat, to be fair, but. You know, I was just thinking, you know, I was trying to find something funny to say today to start the show, and when we were gonna say how you doing, I was gonna say, I'm caffeinated, I'm vaccinated, and this afternoon I masturbated, which I did. All 3 of those accurate. But I have the Omicron. that's how I was gonna start the show. But I really don't know. I haven't been tested, so I don't want to say anything. And Friday I have my checkup with my doctor anyway, so I was like, well, I'll just tough it out until Friday, and you know, we'll see.
Listen, if you have because like I had COVID 2.0, not COVID like 1.0, which was like, I guess, the worst.
You had
one.
Delta. You had Delta.
I had Delta. Yeah. Well, I think I had Delta. They don't tell you. You don't really. Who knows if they even fucking know it? Seriously. But like, if you have Omicron, you got COVID light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
hey, Batman, what's up, man? Nice to see you in the chat. I haven't seen Batman in a very long time. What's up, man?
So yeah, and I had this conversation with my doctor. They're like, these people are losing their minds to get tested, and I guess it's good to get tested. But if you have the Omicron, the most that they're going to tell you if you get tested, like, go take a couple Tylenol, you know.
Yeah,
And if it gets worse, you know, that's when you make the call, or you do something. But for the most part, it's like it's behaving like a cold. Thank God, right? For most people.
That's what my wife's been feeling the same way too since yesterday. So I mean, we might just have it. If it stays like this, like you said, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna go and take out resources unless I start feeling worse. But man, you know, it's really affecting everything. I see. You know, again, last night, you know, every Monday I play poker.
I think I need more volume too, buddy. I'm sorry. They're
hold on a second. Oh, I mean, you know, they're fucking vapors. You know, the vapors complain all the time. But let me see how I'm gonna be able to.
I can bump it from here a little.
Yeah, bump it from there. Bump it from it because I can't bump it from here.
Let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, bump it from there.
I can take this and I can go like that. That might be a little louder, and then I can go like that, and that might be a little.
I think that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah, they say I'm 70% of the volume of you. How is this now? Is this any better? Check 1 2 3. Check.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, I see my my scale and my you know, I can see your audio and I can see my audio, and we're about the same. Maybe bump yours just a little bit more.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know if I can go much more than that. Really.
Hold on. I got you.
I'm gonna start clipping on my side.
I got you. Okay.
Hey, it wouldn't be a DP show without audio issues.
Okay,
right?
I found the button. It was actually mine.
Okay. So now I'm gonna be like too loud, right?
I found the button. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. How about now, folks? Give us a.
How about now? Now they said I
syphilis.
sound a lot better, and then the next person says no change.
Well, I mean, I literally found the button that fixes it, and they're still complaining. So I don't know.
Well, they say there's no change, and they say the sound is fine. Somebody said 80%. Somebody said still the same. Better now, about 90%. That's much better. I think we're good. I think we might be good at this point.
Let me tell you
because
something.
really,
let me tell you something, folks. Lay off that Delta 8 shit.
I mean,
lay off the Delta 8 shit, folks. I'm telling you. Go back to vaping nicotine. Lay off that Delta 8, 9, 69, and 71, which is 69 with 2 fingers in your ass. All right, we're back. So, how about now, Bill? I only trust Bill. Tell me the truth.
Larry said much better too.
Okay.
I mean,
well, Larry can't. He's fucking 150 years old. He needs to bump up his little.
Don't say that about Larry.
He needs to bump up his little hearing piece. Does he have that one that's connected to an app?
Hey, listen. Somebody said that the pizza is not good down here. That is not true. You have to travel. There's a couple places, but we have a it's a chain called Grimaldi's. Okay, they have. Their pizza is like as good as anything that you're gonna get in New York City. Yeah, it's that good. Yeah. So if I'm craving really good pizza, I go to Grimaldi's and I get a good pie.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Batman moved to Florida. Batman, you know who moved to Florida?
Who?
Jay Hayes. Did you know that?
Oh no!
Yeah, I ran across on my suggested videos. It popped up, and I see him with a lanai and a pool out in the back. I click on it. He moved. Everybody's moving to Florida.
Telling you, man. Do you know where in Florida he moved?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That'd be crazy if he was in Cape Coral too. Me, Mike, and Jay Hayes.
Wow. That'd be. Yeah, I don't know how awesome that would be, but you know, can you imagine you, Mike, and Jay Hayes hanging out? That'd be so cool. That'd be a great boat ride right there. That would be a great boat ride. You definitely would have to record that. What was I gonna say? Bill says all is good. Okay. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So, this Omicron thing. Every Monday night I play poker. For the last 12, 13 years here at my house, down in the basement, I have a poker game, and every Monday night I order Pizza Hut. Most of the times, I order 2 pizzas.
Pizza Hut, dude. Seriously, I mean, it's like the worst fucking pizza. It's right up there with like Little Caesars.
First of all, you're not here to eat it, so who gives a fuck? Second of all,
buy your poker players some good pizza.
I'm paying for it, so there's not going to be any good pizza. It's going to be Pizza Hut, and I play with the rednecks anyway, so they don't care. So I order 20 wings and pizza. So every Monday night, I place the order online, deliver 7 p.m. to the basement. Everybody, so all the drivers know. They come to the basement, put the pizza in. I leave the tip automatically on the card, and it's done. Yesterday, it's a new delivery driver. I've never seen this girl before. So she comes in, drops it off. She's like, "Who's Dimitri?" I was like, "That's me." And she's like, "Oh, it's nice to finally meet you after 5 years of making your pizza." I was like, "Who are you?" She's like, "I'm the manager. We don't have literally anybody to deliver pizzas, so I'm delivering pizzas today. But it's nice to, put a face to the name since, I've seen your orders come in every Monday night for the last 5 years."
Was she cute?
No. Everybody. That story is gonna be very, very short. But everybody's hurting and nobody's working. Like nobody's working. I don't know. I don't know how people are making it. I don't understand. Maybe I'm doing something. Maybe we're doing something wrong. I don't know. But nobody's working, and there's so many shortages. Not just in the food business, but just in work in general.
Yeah. So somebody said Jay Hayes is over on the East Coast. That's cool. We have a new supermarket that's opening down the block a little bit, and it's called Farmer Joe's. It looks like a huge barn. I'm actually excited because it's just something else to do and go to outside of the Publix, because if you know anything about Florida, there's a Publix like every other block, right? And I'm just wondering, where are they going to get the employees from? Because when you look around, when you go to the restaurants here, when you go to like the shops, like everybody's hiring. And some of the restaurants aren't even operating at full capacity because they can't get help.
Yeah.
Right. So how are they stocking an entire supermarket with employees? I would imagine that that's a challenge right now. Not to mention that there's a new Publix opening up the block, right? So you have this Farmer Joe's opening up, and you have new Publix. That's like, I mean, that's going to be close to 800 employees right there, right? Where are they getting them from?
I don't know, but I will tell you what. I told my daughter, I was like, skip college and go to Costco. Costco right now is paying $18 an hour, Phil, plus
Larry
benefits.
told me that.
Plus benefits. $18 an hour. Are you kidding me? And you want to go to college for 4 years and we're going to spend $100,000 for this shit? I was like, Buc-ee's, which is a 24-hour gas station type, like Pilot and stuff like that, big chain down here, are paying $22 an hour. $22 an hour to work at a gas station. Look, I'm glad that the average median whatever is going to come up, because obviously you're not going to find people that are going to work for $6 an hour anymore. So there's a good thing that comes out of it. But also, at what point people are going to have to? Are they getting money from the government still? I thought that ended in July.
Yeah. It's a good thing, because the prices or the salaries are going up. The price per hour is going up for employees. But the bad thing is that's going to trickle down to the consumer.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way that, how is Costco going to pay that much and not put the burden on the buyer eventually? I don't know about, by the way, how are the store shelves by you?
There's definitely stuff missing. There's definitely stuff missing. Yes.
Yeah, I was at the market a couple of days ago, and I was shocked. It's like there's less stuff now than there was when COVID, when the toilet paper thing was going on, right? Where you couldn't get toilet paper, you couldn't get paper towel, you couldn't get paper products. It seems like it's even worse now, not with toilet paper, but with other stuff.
Yeah.
Right, like the meat department is cleaned out.
Beef is out of control. I'm not buying beef. I'm not going to go spend $60 on 2 steaks.
Price is crazy.
I just feel it's ridiculous. So we eat the other white meat, pork. But got a question here from Bill. Aren't most of 𝗵𝗵𝗀 neighbors retired or retiring seniors at his old age home? So
you had to read that. As a matter of fact, all of the neighbors here. They got together for New Year's Eve, and they got at a table at a restaurant. They had bands, and they had like a buffet and everything, and all of them got COVID.
Oh my God! Yeah,
every single one of them.
I see it. Vaping Mailman says Postal Service is paying $19 plus benefits. Man, I'm telling you. And
they still get your mail fucked up and screwed up.
College is overrated for sure. Here's a good question that you can answer before we get into it. This question is coming from Tori Norquist. Is the Aries 2 a better MTL than the Z Coil's 0.8 ohm coils? Wow, that's kind of hard, but Phil is going to explain to you what the difference between the two is, and there's no such thing as better.
There's no such thing as better. There, let's go back to Dimitri. Better is a subjective thing. Always remember that. Better for you is not better for somebody else, right? Because you might not want to be bothered with building, but that another person might be interested in building. You might want to save some money on your coils, because there was a day when you were getting your best vape with a rebuildable, right? And those days, not so much anymore. Really not so much, because coil technology is so good at this point that pre-built coils like a Z coil is going to rival the vape of a rebuildable. Okay. Sure, there's going to be little subtle differences. The biggest thing between a rebuildable and a replaceable is, with a rebuildable, you control everything, right? Yeah. So you control the wire that you're using, you control the resistance, you control the type of coil that you're creating, you control the filler material, the cotton that you're putting in there. Everything is in your control. So you can tweak and fine tune things to work exactly the way that you want them to work. Not to mention that it is a massive cost savings. Okay, because like little bags of cotton like this, I'm still going on this bag. It lasts forever, right? I have so much cotton in this house. A spool of coil will last you forever, and it's really easy to build your own coils. So, what's better is what you find in that description that I just gave to you, what you find attractive, right? But I would say, like, as far as better flavor, I'd say they're really, really close at this point. I think the biggest benefit that you're getting out of building is a cost savings these days.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. I also think that there is a romanticism and there is a hobbyist aspect to building that I think that both me and Phil went through. We went through this phase where pretty much all we were using was rebuildables. And once you master it, because you have to master it as well too. I'm just telling you, a rebuildable, you just take it, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have an enjoyable vape. You have to master that depending on your vape style. But once you master that rebuildable and you reach that moment where you're like, oh my God, this is such a great vape, I think both me and Phil reached that top of the mountain. And then we stayed up there, we went up and down, up and down, up and down. But then sometimes you reach a point in your life where you're like, man, ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, coils are good. I'm using mostly 0.8 ohm coils for my vape anyway these days. Now, just the other day when I received the coils from Adam, it gave me that wheel and that drive, because it's something new. I'm going to put it in my areas. I'm going to try it. It's an amazing vape. Don't get me wrong. But it all depends on what part of that journey you're at. If you enjoy building, if you enjoy the hobbyist aspect, I think that for a lot of people in that community, in that culture, I think that building is part of the process of them quitting smoking as well too. For others, it's not. For some people, though, it is. Right?
Absolutely. And you know what I like? I like the word that you use, like kind of like a mysticism, right? Because I've told the story so many times, but boy, when I put my first coil in an atomizer and I pushed the button and the coil glowed, it was like, that's fucking cool. Like, I did that, there's like an achievement. It's like, I have made fire. And it's a really cool thing. But I think there are like phases that you go through, and some people are going to continue to want to build. They're going to be into the exotic coils and the different Clapton Alien, all this stuff, right? And that's the thing that's going to keep them vaping and keep them off cigarettes. Good. Yeah. That is a good thing. But there's another class of people, and I'm kind of there too. Dimitri's like, he's kind of there too, where it's like, you know what? I just want to fucking vape.
Yeah.
I just want to vape. Yeah. And my Z coil is just fine. My 0.8 ohm Z coil is great flavor. It lasts a long time. It's easy to replace because that's the way we built the tanks. It's easy to fill the tanks, right? And I just kind of want to vape, right? So that's where I am. But like now I got these coils. I kind of want to put them in a Aries and see how they vape.
Yeah,
right?
sure. But you know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking right now with the Aries? Like, I'm vaping it every day. But I know at some point I'm going to have to take the cotton out, drain the tank, and glow the coils, clean them out, re-wick it, put it back together. It's like this. I mean, that's the stage after vaping for 10 plus years. That's the stage that I'm at. And coil technology, like Phil said, the Z-Force tank that we put out is perfect example. That coil technology, folks, I'm telling you that these coils are lasting me, unfortunately, forever, which is not good for us because me and Phil, that's how we make our money, is from the sales of coils. But everybody that I've given this tank and these coils to test out are getting a week and a half with these coils. in some cases even more. So think about it. It's $3 for a coil. It's $3. It's $12 a month. If you change 4 coils, it's $12 a month, and you get an amazing vape every time you put a fresh coil inside.
I think I did the math once. I forgot how many times a day you can change a coil and still not equate to the price of a cigarette, right? You know, and a lot of us, we forgot because we've been vaping for so long how much money those cigarettes cost us, right? How much of our budget went to cigarettes, and you kind of get spoiled. Right now, you're like, oh God, I got to spend $3 on a coil. Yeah, but like you were spending $10 a day on a pack of cigarettes, right? It all. You know what? There was somebody else who had a really good experience with a Z-Force tank.
Larry said he got really good.
No, there was somebody else. I'm not sure if you wanna go there right now. There's somebody else.
Who?
You know,
who?
Don't we have like a video of somebody having a really good time with a Z-Force tank?
What a great segue. Absolutely.
I was trying to lead you into it, buddy.
I'm so sorry. Listen, I'm shocked. This is a very thorough technical explanation of how good the Z-Force coils are. You guys ready for this? You're not ready for this. Listen, this is one of the best technical explanations of Z-Force, right, Phil?
Stop. Hold on a second.
I'm stopped.
If anybody knows Daniel, okay, get him to watch right now. Okay, because this guy
absolutely
blows away anything that Daniel does on the technical side of vaping reviews.
Let's go.
Okay,
let's do it.
Yeah.
The brand new Innokin 217 mod with the Z-Force tank. Woo! Damn! Hell's bells! Fuck! Cock-a-doodle damn! Very thick, very rich, dense vapor coming off of this thing. Fantastic flavor. That flavor is poppin'. Woo! Damn! Hell's bells! Fickety fick fick! Fuck! Cock-a-doodle damn!
I'm dead. You know, when I was watching this review live, I sort of got. Listen, I love indoor smokers. He's been around.
I know, I do too. Like he's been around forever. I love that he's still doing it. That's great.
And everybody that bashes indoor smokers, this guy is the OG of promotion, and he's helped thousands of people quit smoking. Aside from that, I mean, he's probably high as fuck on this video. But when he did the fickety fick, I was like. Is he trying to scratch or
like as a DJ? That's what because he was kind of moving his hand a little bit, like as if you're scratching, you're cutting it up a little bit.
I know, but I thought it started as a scratch, but it ended with a fuck. So I didn't know why he didn't start with fuck instead of feet because you go feet, and then he goes feet. Fuck,
right. Like the tick doesn't work into the fuck, right? It should have been fuck, like because I'm a former DJ, so like I know the technical aspect of this. So it would be like fuck, right? It wouldn't be fuck. That wouldn't make any sense.
I'm dead. By the way, I told
he's dead.
I told Phil Bizarro today. I was like, Phil made that little edit for me, and he and I watched it and I laughed again, and I was like, I replied to him. I was like, I'm dead, and he's like, what do you mean you're dead? You got worried. he got worried about me. I was like, but I spelled it D, right? And I was like, don't worry about it. It's young people's, lingo. You don't get it. Then he looks it up in some kind of a Wikipedia dictionary or Urban Dictionary. DD is a humorous. I'm crying from clapping. Is a humorous, often ironic, deliberate misspelling of dead. It can be used when something finds something so funny.
Cock-a-doodle damn!
Yeah.
Yeah, and I told you, what did I tell you? You're ridiculous. Grow up. You're never going to be younger than 50.
Oh my God, this is true. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad that he enjoyed and listen, everybody that's had, this is probably the first product release that we've had with 217 and the Z-Force that I've heard really, really good things about it, like all around device, tank, and everything. The only drawback that I've seen some people say is, which I have the same problem as well too, but I mean, it just makes sense. When 100 ml bottles, you're gonna have to remove sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, these bottles are just huge. But I think that, you know, I want to ask the chat this, since we brought this up. You know, if you don't do a slide tank, which is, you know, I mean, you understand the concept of the products that me and Phil put out, right? I mean, the ease of use for us older people is extremely important. And we also feel like for consumers that ease of use is extremely important as well, too. Don't you think it would be very easy for us to put a cap on it that you have to unscrew and just take the cap off and set it down? And that gives you 2 huge ports. And you can
Cheaper, too.
Put your liquid inside, right? And cheaper. But then that leaves 2 pieces in your hands, right? So by this way, by doing this, you don't have to put everything down. You take it, you slide it, and you put it out. So a couple of people have said that, but other than that, I'm telling you, man, everybody's been really, really happy with this.
Or
Europe is doing very well.
Or
yes, or you can do that. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
right.
Yes.
Oh, I saw Peggy. Thank you, Peggy. Peggy sent me a little.
What did she send you?
I got bumper stickers.
Aw,
Bumper
that's
stickers.
sweet.
I got a pen. I think she's doing something with VTA and FSFA. So
now with VTA. VTA is not around anymore.
No, well, it says VTA on that.
That's probably an old one.
She sent me a little story about although vapes are not 100% risk-free, they are less harmful than cigarettes. So I'm thinking that she has something to do with that. I'm going to read that. And Peggy. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on. Oh, it's here. Peggy, I was going to wear this for you tonight, but she sent me a couple of these shirts. And see what it says right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Warning, product contains nicotine. And she's got her logo there, right? But the front of the shirt doesn't have her logo. And that's why I didn't wear it.
Oh, it's in the back.
Yeah, it's just in the back. And then I would have to do the show like this.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true.
And people would complain about the sound more.
That's true.
Right. But thank you, Peggy. Thank you.
That's nice.
Thank you.
You know what I got from Peggy?
Nothing.
Cock-a-doodle damn.
That's what I got. Cock-a-doodle damn. Let me close Mr. and put this over here, and let's get started. Speaking of Peggy, let's go ahead and get started and get a couple of these topics out of the way. Important topics that we want to talk about, and then we're going to have some more fun. You know, when we do the show, we always try to update the original slides that came with the Smoker Show, and we feel like, by the way, let me put this back on to both of us. But we feel like, you know, I think that the Smoker Show has run its course. There's really not much else except that plethora of 100+ episodes that we already have up there, with tons of information for somebody that's starting out vaping. I think you can pretty much find anything and answer all your questions there. But you know, we've been having this discussion for the last 2-3 months with Phil behind the scenes, and you know, we're going into a new year. A lot of things have changed in America, at least, and I guess the question, Phil, is, you know, going into 2022, how do we get people to vape, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to, like I've said this many times, where even if everything was perfect in vaping, okay, so in other words, flavors you could buy everywhere, right? No tax increases. Everything was, all the products were legal. You could sell whatever you want, right? Even if everything was 100% perfect, we have a problem with the way vaping is portrayed in the media. Right. So even if everything was perfect, we still have a challenge of educating the general population and the consumers to make them understand that this is tobacco harm reduction, and they are not going to die if they use this product faster than they would if they were smoking a cigarette. So that's still a challenge. Right. But I would hope that people would send smokers to the Smoker Show. to watch some of those episodes and hold their hands and help them along the way, right? And so we put a couple slides together where things are a little bit different now, right? They're a little bit different, and even though they're different, you can still find product and you can still get off of the cigarettes and experience tobacco harm reduction. Like in the Smoker Show, we always say that, look, if you don't smoke and you don't vape, we don't want you to do either, right? But if you are a smoker, we want you to try all the standard cessation products. We want you to try the pills and the patches and the gums. We want you to do that, right? When everything else fails to get you off that cigarette, right? That's when you need to give vaping a try, because it is tobacco harm reduction. It reduces the harm level of the way you get your nicotine. So what are the different ways where we can buy vaping products these days? And it's going to be three places. It's going to be C stores. Okay. And what is a C store? A C store is a convenience store. It's a gas station. It's a 7-Eleven. It's a Wawa, right? So that's where you can get products. You can get them online. Okay. And I want to talk about online a little bit, and you can still get them at vape shops. There are still a lot of vape shops around. So D, let's both talk about this a little bit.
Sure.
I want to talk about online, right? Because I get messages nearly every day asking, where can I get product? Where can I get product? Mm-hmm. And not here yet, Dimitri. Yeah, no, just good. Yeah, the two of us. And I want to say, like, I'm trying to be helpful to people, right? But part of me wants to say, put your big boy pants on and do your research, right? Yeah. Look, I always say start with the big three. Okay, what would I consider the big three? I would consider the big three: My Vapor Store, Element Vape, and Vapor DNA. Would you agree with that? Is that the big three?
Yeah, I would say so.
Right? So. Start with the big three. If you can't get satisfaction there, they might not ship to your area. They might try the vaping store. So like the Innokin store, right? Mm-hmm. I think all of these companies now have their own store where you can order direct and they'll send it to you. You can try that. Then you can go to the Chinese trading companies. Would you agree? Like maybe
Sure.
E-Logo Mall, Fast Tech, right? You know, those guys are still shipping, right? So, I mean, there are still ways for you to get your product. What do you think, Dimitri?
You know, online shopping, you know, I mean, a lot of people are used to it now, especially with the pandemic. A lot more people have been getting on online and ordering stuff. It's become a little bit more difficult today than it actually used to be when we started to vape. Because when we started to vape, especially the hardware side of vaping was not as complicated, right? We didn't have such a huge variety of product like we have today, which can be overwhelming. And that's where the vape store has a huge advantage over somebody that knows nothing about vaping, that wants to try vaping and goes just simply blind to an Element. You go to Element Vape right now, you're going to find over 3,500 starter kits. 3,500, right? That's I mean,
and some of this stuff is actually covered in the slides that we're going to go through.
Yes.
Right?
So I think that you can steal if you do the research that goes along with it, like me and Phil did our research in the early days of vaping. I think you can navigate through that and pick what you believe through your research is going to do it for you. I think blindly to go and just pick something off a website for you to quit smoking, I think that there's a high probability that it's not going to work for you.
Yeah. And we'll see that in some of these other slides that we're going to take a look at. Yeah, My V Pro is another one, but again, I mean, these are companies that you can find if you do a quick Google search, right?
Yeah.
So again, I mean, yeah, you could come to me for help. Yeah, you could come to Dimitri for help. Neither of us are going to turn you away. But again, put your big boy pants on and research, and you'll find companies that will ship to you, right? Let's take a look at the next slide.
Right, that would be this right here, and transition that.
So what are the pros and cons of getting your vapes at a C store, at a convenience store? So obviously it's a convenience store, right? So that's your biggest pro. That's one of the biggest pros is it's convenient, right? You are going to find some type of vape product, usually either a disposable or a replaceable, in your gas stations, in your 7-Elevens, in your convenience stores. There's going to be something there. Pro is going to be a price. That's also going to be a con. We'll talk about that. But these are low cost devices. It's instant gratification, right? You don't have to wait to get it in the mail. You're going to get something and you'll be able to use it right away. And it's good for, and I know Dimitri's used these products this way, emergency availability, right?
Yeah.
You go someplace and you forgot your vape, right? So what can you do? If you're not around a vape shop, you can go to a convenience store. You could buy a disposable. You could buy a replaceable. It's not that expensive, right? And at least you'll have that vape there to get you through until you get back to your main devices. Now, the cons. The cons are I think important when it comes to C stores, right? Because I think this is where people fail. If they want to try vaping, if they want to give vaping a try, and they just get something from a C store, right? First of all, limited choice. Obviously, you are not going to have nearly the amount of products that you are going to be able to get to via online or via a vape shop. You're going to be very limited to disposables. You're going to be very limited to replaceables like Juuls, right? Limited experience. I think this is important too. What are you going to get? You are going to get, for the most part, a 50 milligram device, right? A 50 milligram pod, a 50 milligram disposable, right? So we've heard it from both sides. I tried mouth to lung. Mouth to lung didn't work for me. I went to direct lung. That worked. Great. I tried direct lung. Direct lung didn't work for me. I went to mouth to lung and it worked. Great. But the problem is, at a C store, you're not going to have those different experiences. You're not going to be able to try the difference between a freebase that has that nice, strong throat hit that people need, like me, versus a salt, which has a very, very low throat hit, but it's pounding you with nicotine. So you are limited, and not to mention that flavors too, right? I know flavors are becoming an issue, but for the most part, a lot of these disposables are iced flavors. Not everybody likes iced flavors, right? So again, limited experience, no guidance. Believe me, the guy behind the counter does not know anything about vaping. I mean, it's not even close what that guy behind the counter knows about vaping, like compared to like me, Dimitri, or people that work at the vape shops, right? So you're not going to get any kind of guidance. It's just going to be a sale, right? And price. So why is price in the pro and the con? Well, it's in the pro because if you need an emergency device, it's a low cost product to buy. But it's in the con because if you become a full-time vapor, right, those disposables are going to get expensive after a while, and it could be much more a better economy or better for your wallet, right? Not to mention better for the environment, right? If you're using a refillable product.
There's another thing here that I think that we kind of left out, which I didn't realize until when I was going up to the cabin. I stopped to get gas, and then the kids wanted to get some snacks for the road and waters and stuff like that. So we go into the gas station right here in Chattanooga, and what I noticed is the hybrid model has invaded the C store as well now too. So not only do we have this plethora of disposables, you know, which you expect to find, but there's also a lot of Delta 8, Delta 9, kratom, hemp, glass, disposable CBDs, pens that are kind of like intertwined now with the vaping, and you know, and I mean, I get it. There's a lot of profit in these products, so the C store model, obviously, if they can sell it, they'll put it out there and sell it. But there is a big crossover at the C store as well too, just like we're seeing in the vape shop as well too. So it can be a little bit confusing, especially as Phil said. You know, there's no guidance there. So there's really not a lot of questions that you can ask, you know, this employee behind the counter to explain to you these products, not even for the CBD products or the Delta 8 products. You know, I mean, I highly suggest that you don't buy Delta 8 from C stores. But that crossover, again, is another factor that I think is, I mean, look, there's no doubt that vaping has a bad rap in America because the powers to be that are threatened by this technology have made it out to appear that vaping is bad. There's no doubt about it. You have to overcome that, which is a huge, obstacle for you to overcome. But these places are not doing it a much better favor as well either. Okay, so I think that For anybody that just like randomly walks even into a C-store and says, I want to try, I think that they can even pick up the wrong product simply because the employee, if they could just go and say, well, I want a disposable vape. Listen to the term. I want a disposable vape. Well, there's disposable CBD and there's disposable Delta-8. What kind of vape do you want? You know, do you want a vape pen with nicotine? Or you smoke? You know, like all those questions cannot be answered there. And you might actually pick up the wrong thing too.
You know what? That's it. Now Larry said that your volume is low. That's actually, when you think about it, that's a huge danger.
Yeah.
Like Dimitri just said, what if somebody goes into a C-store and they say, I want a disposable vape product? And that C-store is aware that their largest markup, where they make their most money, is with a Delta-8 vape pen.
Yeah.
And they give that to that consumer, right? I have tried a Delta-8 vape pen, and I can't tell it apart from a THC cartridge.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking crazy ass strong, right? So like that would be a really, really bad thing. And that's why for buying a vape, especially for your first vape, I can't recommend a C-store.
No.
I got to recommend a vape shop. And we're going to talk about that more as we go through these slides.
Yeah, let's get into the online slide first. Let me go here.
So online, so what are the pros from buying online? The pros are going to be choice and variety, right? You're going to be able to find any product that you want, any color, any shape, any form factor, direct lung, restricted direct lung, mouth to lung. You're going to be able to find it all online. Availability, right? So you are going to find the exact product you want, the exact coil that you want, the exact resistance that you want, new products, old products. They're all going to be available for you online. And price, typically when you buy online, you're going to be able to find a better price than you would in a vape shop or definitely a C-store, right? But there are some cons these days, right? There are definitely shipping issues. If you are looking to quit right away, you know, if your device is down, there's going to be a shipping time. There's going to be a cost associated with the shipping. Some people have to pay that new $7 charge, whatever it might be. So those are some of the cons also. And this is exactly why I started to do my reviews, right? Because you can't try, hold, and feel the product before you buy the product. Now, when I started doing my reviews, there really was no such thing as a vape shop or a vape lounge. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to make you be able to close your eyes and kind of experience the product in your hand with every test that I did, with pushing the button, with showing it to you on screen, right? So that's definitely a con. I think one of the biggest cons there too is going to be the draw, right? Draw is so important. And if you don't get the correct draw for you, that could be a real downer, right? And that could make you fail in vaping. And then limited or questionable guidance. Why do I put that? Because it's something that Dimitri mentioned before. Everything is labeled as a starter kit. I am somebody who has never vaped before. I am just a cigarette smoker. That says starter kit. I am a starter. That kit is for me. It doesn't work that way. Right. So you need to be able to understand the product. So if you are going to buy online, my biggest recommendation, my strongest recommendation would be to find an online reviewer that you trust, right? Find somebody that can show you that product before you buy it and you spend your money on it, right? What do you think, Dick?
I think that you pretty much covered everything here. When I took a look at that slide, I think that the online is usually a tool that a lot of people transition to after they've gone to a vape shop, and in a lot of cases, my prime example is, man, I wish we had a research team on the show, like had people that worked for us to go back and find this. But I said in one of the smoker shows, I think it was in 2018, when the big pod craze came out. Remember when all these pods came out and flooded the market, and people were selling them at vape stores as starter kits, which, okay, it's a great idea. You have them as starter kits. But if you go back and listen to what I said the problem that you have when you bring that much hardware into a vape store that does not have guarantee you're going to be able to get the pods and the replacement coils for them, customers will get angry. And I mean, prime example now, aside from the Caliburn and maybe a couple more pods, every other pod that every reviewer touted as being the best pod in the world is pretty much obsolete from the market. So you either have to go online to find those products if you want to make, if that's what help you quit smoking and you want to, you know, carry on to vape with that, most likely is you're not going to find it at a vape store. So what I'm leading to is that usually vapors might transition to an online because they can't find in their local store, you know, what they're looking for. And then of course, you know, the nicotine is another thing that I think is not being talked about enough, because there's not a lot of nicotine strength options, especially in store. Bill sent me a message, says, tested gas station recently, asked what e-cigs they had. Then I asked how much nic was in it. Response, I don't know. The sales rep didn't tell us there's different strengths. And it's probably because they're all 50, right? They didn't know. But you can run into that as well, too, online. So for somebody that's new, how are you going to judge what nicotine strength that you want? I mean, you can go, there's some websites that have like a little chart, like, oh, if you're a heavy smoker, try this. But everybody's experience is different depending on nicotine salts, depending on synthetic, free-base nicotine. You know, I mean, and we'll talk about nicotine a little bit later. But, I mean, how do you know the nicotine strengths from you if you're not going to be able to go there and test it yourself? You have to have a prerequisite. You have to have tried it before. You need to have something already to make the judgment and make the, you know, when I started, that was a hard part of me I was ordering 36 milligram cartridges from V2, right? And, you know, trying to judge the nicotine on every one, I probably ordered 2 or 3 times to go down that 24, that level that I felt comfortable with. But, I mean, that's what you're going to have to do online. There's going to be a lot of trial and error where you're going to buy something and then it's not going to work for you. You're just going to set it to the side and order something else. If you have the desire to continue to, like we did, we had the desire to keep trying out. I can't tell you how many liquids I ordered online when I started vaping that I didn't vape. I will say in the first 6 months, probably over 275 bottles. Thankfully, there were a lot of 10 mils. Remember the 10 mil? The 10 mil was a great invention back then. A lot of the stores, Gourmet Vapor back in the day, so they ordered a little 10 mil sample. So you could order just a 10 mil to try it. But I mean, 275 bottles, I think I counted in the first 6 months of vaping for me to find a flavor that I like. That means that 274 I didn't like out of the 275 flavors.
Right. A lot of places had the sample packs back then too.
Yes.
Right. Which were every time I saw a sample pack, I got one.
Yes.
And
but
I had
all my
Bogue. Huh?
They're not allowed now. That's the
no, I know.
Problem.
And I had all my Bogue cardos all filled up with a different flavor, labeled in my little container thing, and I could just switch up whenever I wanted. But now, no need, because now I vape watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line.
And teal, I don't know if you noticed, I put a little logo on there, kind of tease everybody. There is unsalted on ice coming out. And I'm telling you what, this mango pineapple is going to overtake the #1 spot. I guarantee you that this mango pineapple ice will be the best flavor, which is also, you know what I like about this line? I know
exactly what you're going to say.
I'm going to sell this in Greece. All 3 of these flavors could easily be put in a pod and transition disposable vapors, which is extremely important. I'm going to make these 30 mil short fills, and I'm going to sell them in my stores in Greece because mango and blueberry are my 2 popular flavors in that category. So with this, I definitely cover. With a mango pineapple, I definitely cover. We have a banana ice, I think, coming, and then of course your watermelon peach on ice. I think that this mango pineapple is really good.
You know what? I sincerely, I hope so. Because I'm tired of carrying your asses with absolutely. Watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. I will be very, very happy. I will be very, very happy to hold this up and say watermelon peach, the original #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. I'd be very happy to do that.
Yeah. By the way, the other day I was shoveling the money that we've made off that unsalted line. I was just shoveling in the back of my truck because it's so much. It's just
I know. What to do with it. I'm telling you.
All right, let's get to this last slide now. Here, transition to this.
Biggest thing I could say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the vape shops. Go in and support the vape shops. And we'll talk about why I say don't be afraid, right? But pros, it's going to be choice and variety, right? There's going to be more products in your vape shop than you are going to find in your C store, right? So, you know, you might not be getting the convenience of a C store because there's not one on every block, but chances are there's one close to your house. Again, instant gratification. You're going to be able to pick up your product or your liquid and use it right away. Here's one that is so important, and I hope I hope that vape shops still have this, which is expertise and guidance. There is no more important thing that you are going to find in a vape shop than expertise and guidance. The person behind the counter to talk to you, to have a conversation with you, to ask you questions, to come up with what is the best product for you to try, right? So that is so important. And you really want to find a vape shop where you're comfortable talking to that person behind the counter. And we say that vape shops, the model has changed. Yes, the model has changed. We'll talk about that, but there are still really, really good people that work in good vape shops, right? That can really, really help you.
Yeah.
Also, you're able to experience the product before you buy it. And there's a little bit of a question mark there because, some vape shops, you're not allowed to vape anymore, or try different liquids, but you can at least hold it in your hand. You can get an idea if it's going to be something that you like. Do you want to say something?
No, I think that's huge. Even just holding it in your hand is a huge step for somebody that is starting their journey, because you're going to be holding this thing throughout the day. So, it's extremely important that you feel comfortable with it and it's the right device for you.
Right. Now, a con, choice and variety. Well, why is that a con in a vape shop? Here, very simple, right? Because I talk to people all day long that say, Phil, man, I really want to get Z coils, but I can't find them in any of the vape shops in my town. Right. So there you go. Choice and variety. You're not going to find all the products that you hear about online. You're not going to find all the products that you hear from a reviewer, hear about like the products that Dimitri and I talk about. Right. So that's definitely a con. You can certainly ask your vape shop to support the products, but that's really kind of up to them. Expertise and guidance. That's a con too, because some vape shops may not have that person behind the counter that is going to be able to have that conversation with you, that is going to be able to ask the correct questions to guide you to a good first experience. This is why I have Don't Be Afraid, right? Questionable, uncomfortable environments for some people. Okay. Some people are going to walk in a vape shop and they're not going to like looking at bongs and glass pipes and kratom and Delta 8 and CBD and dildos and vibrators. They're not going to feel comfortable in that environment, right? But I'm telling you, don't be afraid. Look past that. Understand where that vape shop probably started. Understand why they're doing what they're doing, why they've had to bring some of those products in. Look past that. Look beyond that. And go there for the reason that you're going there for. And that is to not smoke anymore so that you can live a longer life, right? The vape shop is still the best place to get you off of cigarettes.
I totally agree. I want to add to this that I think that there's still some really, really good vape shops out there. It's a very, very small number, but I think that if you search out and do a little bit of research and go visit a few places as well too, and find the shop or the place that you're comfortable with, I think it can be a very pleasant experience. Just the other day, I was just driving up down the street here. We have Chattanooga Vapor Company here in Tennessee that has like 9 stores. Huge company, really, really nice people. They sell some little CBD, they sell some of this, a little bit of that. But they just put up, they have a billboard system where they rotate their billboards every month or 2 months or whatever. They're all over town. And just the other day, I just saw the change for 2022, and it says, hey, it's time to make the switch in 2022. They had some devices up there and some liquids and some specials. I mean, they're still advertising tobacco harm reduction and trying to get people into the store for the main goal of what they're doing, and that is to help people quit smoking. So you'll find. I mean, here in Tennessee, we have some really, really nice shops, but it can be. It's even uncomfortable for me. And I'm not a prude. Phil is definitely not a prude when it comes to alternative products, but it's still uncomfortable for me. And in some way, I feel, I feel like me and Phil are like still here, trying to, help people quit smoking. And I feel a lot of people have moved past that, which is fine. It's okay. I'm not criticizing. I'm not judging that. But it feels like we were getting like robbed out of the options. We feel like we're still on this like lonely boat that's going down the river that's trying to find smokers, and it's getting more difficult and more difficult to get people good guidance because we don't have the tools like we once did in 2013, 2014, where we had just like that, I can get anybody to quit smoking in any part of America, and it's just gotten a little bit more difficult now. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
You said something before, and I'm gonna give a shameless plug off of what you said. You talked about the pods, and you talked about like the product of the day, and how a reviewer will rave about something, and then a year later it's just not available anymore. Look for something that's been on the market for a long time. Okay. And this is where the shameless plug comes in, the Z Coil, right? How many years has the Z Coil been on the market? And if a product has been on the market that long, it will continue to be on the market. I'm going to give you another example, a competitor, the 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀 coil, right?
Yep.
That coil has been on the market even longer than we have been on the market.
Yep.
So, if you get into that product line, you can feel comfortable that will be with you for a long time. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Zeniths have been around for a long time. Glides have been around for a long time. The Z Coil has been around for a long time, and it ain't going nowhere. Right. So that's a safe bet. Right. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like longevity of these products, I think it's very important. When I was in Greece now on this trip, I went to Thessaloniki and visited our friend that we went to the party that she threw for us one time. I don't know if you remember, Maria. And I was just sitting there having coffee. I spent a couple hours in her shop. I think 10 customers came in. Out of the 10 customers, 7 got Z Coil. And she always makes it a point to point it out to me. She's like, "Oh, look, here's the creator of this." She puts on this like huge show for her customers and all that. But I just found it amazing that 7 out of 10 customers that came in got a Z Coil, because she knows, you're going to start somebody else, especially somebody that's older. You want to make sure you have the product that they need, right? So she really pushes on people on getting these products that have longevity in the market. It's so annoying. I even for us as vapors, if I we're happy now, but at the early days of vaping, Phil, I think that you'll agree, we got frustrated a lot of times. I got frustrated if I couldn't find the liquid that I really like. I get frustrated if I couldn't find the product that I wanted. And I mean, we had the determination to quit smoking, so it didn't bother us. But I think I can see how other people would be upset if the product that they quit with and the product that they think, whether it is or not, if the product that they think is the best product and they can't find the replacements for it, or they can't find that product.
A good example of that is 𝗏𝗶𝗶 Bounty.
Yeah. Yeah.
People lost their fucking minds when they couldn't get their 𝗏𝗶𝗶 Bounty anymore.
Went crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw a comment that I want to really address here. Sure. Daryl Roach says, just ban high wattage vaping, keep all nicotine at around 1.2% or lower. I just don't think ban is the solution, Daryl. I mean, it really isn't. Trust me. Me and Phil have been talking about balance all these years, and unfortunately this industry just does not want to listen. But we can't ban a product. Then we become just like tobacco control. We need to have the variety of products. We need to have all the products, because there might be somebody out there that needs 50 milligram nicotine to quit smoking. There might be somebody out there that needs 30 milligram. We can't determine what that nicotine level is, right? There's a way to have a variety of products and have all the options on the market. But saying we're going to ban one segment of vaping, first of all, I don't think that would change anything. I think if anything, it's going to drive people to go back to smoking, especially some people that require that higher nicotine. But then on the same token, we're basically doing exactly what our government is doing. We're trying to eliminate something, thinking that it's going to fix the problem. And bans just never fix the problem. We're going to talk about it a little bit later as well too.
Yeah. No, I don't think banning is the right move. Yeah, I would say the reason why vaping took off as hard and as fast as it did was because of the variety, right? It was because of all the different ways you could vape, because of all the colors and all the form factors and all the different kinds of draws, and being able to find something and tailor it to your exact, not only physical needs, right, in your nicotine strength, but also like your personal needs, like what color is it?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
does
yeah.
it feel in the hand?
Yeah.
Does it have pink butterflies on it, like Dimitri likes to do, right?
Yeah.
All of that is really, really important.
You know what I was going to say? I saw a comment from Bridget earlier that said the vape shop that she goes to is 30 minutes away, and they started bringing some glassware and some other products inside, which is okay. But bans is what brought on this, Bridget. That's the point. I'm not trying to make it to you, Bridget. I'm trying to make it to Daryl, is that by our government banning products from the market is forcing these vape shop owners to bring these alternative products inside. Now, granted, I'll be the bad guy and once again say that, 70-80% of the industry back then smoked pot, so it doesn't really make a difference, right? It was an easy transition. And trust me, as somebody that's been to a lot of shows and have been in back doors with it, in the back rooms with a lot of people, I will tell you that, a lot of people smoke weed. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is that bans are the reason why these shops are bringing alternative products, because they're trying to supplement for the sales of the products that they have lost. And, it's unfortunate, but man, it's the reality. And this is what we have in 2022. And I think that's the reason why Phil kind of made these slides to update our original slides, is to give you an idea of these are the options that you have today. I think I agree with him. In 2022, the vape shop is still the best place for you to go and quit smoking, or it's the best place for you to recommend somebody goes, even if they sell, a few of these or more of these alternative products in there as well too. Chances are you're gonna have a higher success rate even there compared to the other two forms.
Yeah. And, like going into one of those shops, as the generation gets younger and younger and younger, they're going to walk into that shop and they'll be like, oh yeah, well, this is just normal. It's just normal. Right. But I think for the like maybe my age and older, right, they're going to walk into that shop and go, what is this? Right. There's going to be a different perception based on age. So that's going to become more acceptable. But until it gets there, the people our age, the people, your lungs they can be saved too, right? It's never too late. It's never too late. Go vape if you're, if you're getting older, you can still live a little bit longer. I think that's worth it, right? But go in there and see what they have to say and see what they have to offer. And
look how long it took weed.
Just don't, huh?
Look how long it took weed to become acceptable at this point, right?
Right.
That's your prime example. Look, that's just the reality. I've been informed to remind you that even though the watermelon peach is the #1 selling in the unsalted line, Italian moms prefer the unsalted cool citrus.
Yeah. Well, they lose their taste buds. They need something stronger than that happens. That was a real gut punch, boy.
Yeah, another little good comment. Supporting bans are also just a signal to the non-vaping public that all the government vape bans must have been right and needed to begin with. I agree with that. If you listen, I remember when VTA was preaching 21 and done. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Boy, I commented on that in the Smoker Show as well too. This was our strategy: 21 and done. Like, we're going to pass this bill that's going to make vaping 21 and everything else should stay, right? But you see what happened? We agreed to 21 and done, and then they pulled our pants down, no spit, no lube, and just shoved it right up on our ass. I mean, it to me, I don't agree with anything. Politically, I have to play the game a little bit differently, but I don't agree with restrictions. How can you restrict a 19-year-old that's taken a fucking bullet in the leg in Iraq from vaping if he's been smoking for 5 years? How do you, with what good conscience can any human being do that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Yeah. And wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world where you have all these bans happening in the United States, right? And then you look at data. And what does data say? Data says that people are going back to cigarettes. Cigarette sales are up. Okay.
Yeah.
And now let's look at the UK. All right. Well, they're still promoting vaping. They still have products available for everybody. And smoking rates are going down. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. But, here in the United States, it's all about the money. Money.
Yes, I want to address a question real quick. All these borrowed devices out so far. Where's Innokin's borrowed device? I mean, Craig, I remember there was a day when people would frown upon, like cloning, stuff like that. But that's never going to come from Innokin. But I do have some good news. While I was in Greece, I met up with Caveman Mods. He makes he makes mech mods and drip tips and stuff like that. I'm actually using his drip tip. he's a very, very smart guy. He is working on a borrow for the 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀 a bridge, excuse me, to take the Z Coil for the 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗀. So
Oh, that would be good.
That is in the works. He is working on it. I don't know when it's gonna be ready or if it's gonna ever be ready. But he made a really nice device, a mech mod. Now here, I'll show it to you. He gave me one too, but this is his right here. Really, really nice. But anyway, so yeah, there from as far as like having like a borrow device, that's not gonna happen.
Who asked that? Craig.
Greg.
Because I got actually 2 requests for that this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the hot thing now. It's just like anything else. You know, when it's hot, people look like who's going to put it out. But I just don't think we're going to go that route. You know, we discussed it 4 years ago, Craig. I mean, we really did. We sat down there, and what we were trying to do is trying to come up with something that does not going to infringe on the 𝗵𝗶𝗀 or you know, the other products that are on the market, because that's just the way that I think innokin does, and this is the way that me and Phil think as well too. It just seems like it's norm now. But I do remember a couple of years ago, if anybody attempted to do what is happening right now, this community now, this hypocritical community would be up in arms. Drama videos would be flying all over the place. If this would happen 2 years ago, now nobody gives a shit, so it's okay. Let's just put everything out and just make a few bucks.
So true.
That's fine.
It's so true.
But we don't work like that.
We could literally build a 1-to-1 𝗵𝗶𝗀 that supports the Z Coil.
Absolutely.
And I don't think anybody would say anything anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're not gonna do it.
And that's being done, by the way.
Yeah. All right. So I do want to bring this up real quick. We see, we're gonna run out of time, but we're not gonna have time to do everything. But
that's okay.
I do briefly want to talk about synthetic nicotine. And Phil's had some. Phil, talk a little bit about the questions that you've had come in this week for you.
So I think the questions were more concern than questions. So people have been, like, especially people who have been vaping for a long time. You know, they've either been vaping freebase or they have been vaping salt. I think freebase a longer period of time. Obviously, came out years before salts came out. But for the most part, they have been vaping nicotine that has been derived from nicotine plants, right? So now, because of the intelligence, the follow the science, the smarts of our government, being sarcastic, by the way, a lot of these liquid companies are moving to synthetic nicotines, and there's concern, right? There's always concern. There was when salts came out, there were people concerned about salts. What's in it, right? So there are people that are concerned about, like, you know, what are they putting in their bodies with these synthetic nicotines? I don't have the answers, right?
I wish I had the answer as well too.
I don't know.
The only answer I have is it's probably better than smoking. That's like even the worst of the worst was probably better than smoking, and I think that's the way that you have to. We just don't know, folks. I will tell you right now, the market, again, due to and it's funny that Phil has to actually tell people he's being sarcastic. That's what our life has turned into, but. He's absolutely right. Due to what the government is doing and the restrictions and the bans, you know, this industry always tries to find ways to skirt the system, and rightfully so. You know, I mean, we need to have products on the market. The problem with synthetic nicotine is not the synthetic nicotine itself. As far as isomers and getting down to the active ingredient that makes nicotine nicotine and the reason why people want it, there's not much change. In fact, I've said it before. The chemical profile of synthetic nicotine with the regular nicotine is very, very similar. In fact, in some cases, you might not be able to tell the difference. It would take like extra tests to be able to differentiate. But like any other product on the market, there is good nicotine and there's bad. And that case was for regular free-based nicotine as well too. Yeah. We've tested products in the past that had like a peppery taste, or the nicotine might have been bad. The nicotine was cheap. We don't know where it came from. Would they make it sick? Would it kill us? No. Maybe it would change the taste. Maybe we didn't enjoy it. Maybe the levels were a little bit off. But as an experienced vapor, you're going to be able to tell. Synthetic nicotine is the same. I've seen, as somebody that works as consultant in the background, I've seen synthetic nicotine all the way up to $10,000 a kilogram. And now I'm seeing synthetic nicotine coming from China around $1,900 a kilogram. And now I've heard that it's going to get even cheaper. Because there is such demand. So Is the synthetic nicotine that's coming from China good? I don't know. I mean, are you concerned about it? You should ask whoever makes your liquid and about their supplier where they get their nicotine from. I guess that would be one answer that I can give you. I just don't know if there's any long term, if there's anything that's going to change. I just don't know. I really wish I could answer that for you. What I do know is that it's going to be banned in America pretty soon. So why are you concerned about that? We're going to have to start thinking about how to extract nicotine from 𝗵𝗄𝗇 tears or something, because there's 2 states that are enacted bans on synthetic nicotine, Alabama and I think New York. And I just found out this week that a bill is coming here in Tennessee. Thanks to our lobby, we got the early start on it. That's going to do the same thing as Alabama. And what does Alabama do? I'll bring the text up here for you guys to see. This is the actual bill. It's HB 273. This was passed last year. And if you look at this, it's about 34 pages long, Phil. And it talks about possession, use, selling to products of these products to under 21. So 33 out of the 34 pages is talking about penalties, definitions, don't sell to people that are underage. It appears to be, right, something that's to protect the youth. But if you go down to page 30 of this bill, you will see that on page 30, beginning on September 1st, 2021, no e-liquid in combination with an electronic delivery system or alternative nicotine product that in the case of any such product contains synthetic nicotine or nicotine derived from a source other than tobacco may be sold or otherwise distributed in the state without first obtaining approval from the United States Food and Drug Administration for sale as a drug under Section 201 of the Federal Food and Drug and Cosmetic Act. So, I mean, this is in Alabama. It's been enacted since. I truly do not believe that there's any enforcement in Alabama over this because it's simply impossible to be able to tell the difference between the two. Nobody's going out there and checking. But it is banned in Alabama right now for you to be selling products since September 1st of 2021 of synthetic nicotine. And this bill, folks, is being brought by Big Tobacco. I will tell you 110% I know this because I know who's bringing the bill to Tennessee. And who's bringing the bill to Tennessee is Big Tobacco. This is clearly just a bill that is trying to pass to eliminate competition. And what is the #1 competition for pod systems today? Disposable vapes, right? What do disposable vapes use? Synthetic nicotine to skirt the system. So what does Big Tobacco do? Well, we're going to have to remove our competition. And the only way to remove them is because we can't have products that can compete with them is to pass legislation that is going to eliminate synthetic nicotine from the states. And if that's not bad enough, we do have people like this guy, it's your favorite guy, Krishna douchebag, remember? Oh, I hit the wrong button. There you go, 𝗓𝗓 douchebag, congressman. And of course, we have Puff Bar's guy owner that comes up and just basically says, I'm loopholing the system. Whatever. I don't really care about him. Good. I mean, more power to him, honestly. Good. I mean, you don't go on CBS and say that, but apparently he did. But in this segment here, he talks about, skirting the system. And what does this congressman do? Which is a big anti-vapor. By the way, here's another thing that you didn't know. I got really good information. I can't tell you from where. I got really good information that Congressman Raja, whatever, caught his son with a Juul when his son was 17 years old. I got this from a very, very good source. Again, I can't reveal the source because it's very, very political. But the reason why this congressman started this vaping war is because he caught his kid with a Juul. And his way of parenting his son is to literally use his position as a congressman to eliminate an entire industry and adult ex-smokers that are going to go back to smoking. Okay? God bless America and all the fucking Greeks. But anyway, back to the point I was trying to make. Because of this, skirt or loophole, whatever you want to call it, this guy introduced a bill. This bill is called Clarifying Authority Over Nicotine Act of 2021, and the bill is HR 6286. This is just a short version of it. Basically, what it does is, hey, it's saying If you're going to put out a tobacco product, I don't give a shit where this nicotine comes from. I don't care if it's synthetic nicotine, free-based nicotine. I don't care if it comes out of, a camel's piss. Any kind of a nicotine, no matter where it comes, containing from any source, whether it's tobacco. After the word tobacco, they want to insert the word containing nicotine from any source, will go under the FDA authority for products containing nicotine. So this bill has just introduced. Of course, it's in its early stages. If you see here, it hasn't moved anywhere, but it needs to go through the House, Senate. That's how bills become law. It's probably going to be stuck in an amendment somewhere. But anyway, the reason why I bring this up is, like, no matter what we talk about synthetic nicotine, I don't think that it's going to be around long enough for us to be able to tell. Well, I mean, not legally. At least it's not going to be legally. So, that's the bad news for synthetic nicotine, and we're going to fight it here in Tennessee. We're trying to get some help from a couple of allies to beat it this year. But man, I've been doing this for. It'll be 8 years. This legislative session will be my 8th legislative session in Tennessee. Phil. I'm tired.
It's unreal.
I'm tired, bro. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm gonna fight this, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't do it anymore.
No, I get it. I get it. We all have our end points, our end games.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, you put some simple, intelligent regulation in place. What do? You keep the product away from kids. You make the product safer and more consistent. You make the product available for adults, and you make adults live longer and give them a tobacco harm reduction alternative.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. It's really not.
Yeah, it's not.
But they want to destroy it. They just want to destroy it.
And
no matter what you show them, no matter what they see, the success overseas, they do not follow the science on this, and they claim to follow the science. They don't.
They just don't want to allow competition on the market. That's what it boils down to. The people that I talked to about this particular bill all have said the same thing. This is just they just feel like they feel cheated, is what the definition is. They feel like, hey, why are we playing by the rules? And we've submitted our products to the FDA for PMTA. Oh, which, by the way, I forgot to tell you, another thing that people don't realize in Alabama is that if you, starting March 1st, 2022, you're only allowed to sell products that have a PMTA, whether it's tobacco or alternative nicotine products. A lot of people have missed that because that's how vapors are. Their attention span is very small. I mean, even our industry, the people that make the liquid. But March 1st, 2022. Now, granted, I don't think anybody's going to enforce it, but I'm just telling you, if you live in Alabama, starting March 1st, 2022, you can only sell products that have PMTA from the FDA, period.
So there's one product.
Right now, there's one. Yeah, just the views.
Yeah. So not products who have submitted for PMTA.
No, you can sell products that are under review. If they're under review, you can. If the FDA has given you the authority to sell them while it's under review, you can sell it. If you've gotten an MDO, you can't sell it. You can't sell synthetic. You can't sell products that have been sent a rejection letter.
Right.
But if it's still in the process, you can still sell it. Yeah, of course. Right. I mean, Big Tobacco is going to word it that way because they still have Juul and other products that are going under review right now, and I'm sure that they're going to get authorization to be on the market. So,
speaking of that, what do you think the holdup is there?
That is a very, very good question. I think that I think that the system is flawed, and I think that it's being exposed now. And I think that that's why we saw the announcement from Mitch Zeller that he's leaving the Center for Tobacco Products. You have Woodcock, which was the interim FDA commissioner. Now she's leaving. She's going to be replaced. And Mitch Zeller, which is the head of the Center for Tobacco Products, he's leaving. So they started this fire. They started this PMTA bullshit, and now they're leaving. They're going to go in the private sector and whatever, and leave whoever's going to be the next commissioner to deal with the mess that they've made. I think that the system is flawed. So they're in a very huge predicament that, okay, for our industry, they can pretty much fuck us over. We don't have the financial power to fight them. But I think that the biggest problem that they have is companies like Juul, companies like Enjoy, companies like RJR have spent millions of dollars on their PMTAs. So the FDA really has to go by the book, meaning that they have to review their applications as it's stated in the Tobacco Control Act. And that takes a very, very long time. I mean, it takes a long time to do one. It took 8 years to do Swisher Sweets. I mean, to do snus, whatever, right? So they're in a problem. I think they're in a huge pickle right now. So I think that the system is like that.
Do you think the lawsuits are affecting that at all?
No. None of the lawsuits will be successful. I mean, it'll put you back onto the review, and then when they get to the, if you've been successfully gotten, because some of the lawsuits have not been successful. Again, there's a misunderstanding. Yeah, there's some companies that have gotten a stay, but there's other companies that have been rejected, depending on what circuit court they filed. So if you've gotten a stay, eventually when you get to review and they see that you don't have the necessary requirements for a PMTA, you're going to be rejected, and then they'll tell you exactly why you've been rejected. Right? So let me look at the comments here a little bit. How ironic is that the main product that got the kids started vaping is going to actually get PMTA. Right. Yeah, this is true. But now, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Disposables, a lot of kids are using. Yeah, I was going to send you this the other day. I don't know how to do it. There's this guy that does, I'm infatuated with YouTube, obviously. So there's this guy that gets on YouTube and does Omegle. If you don't know Omegle, what it is it's like the Reddit for video chat. You get on your front of your computer, you turn the camera on, and then you put a region. USA, Greece, or whatever. And then you hit the button, and then random people just pop up, and you start video chatting them. Just random. So usually, I mean, 90% of the time, it'll be a guy jerking off, but sometimes you'll follow some other people as well, too. It's kind of funny, but this guy, what he does, he gets on there, and he uses, like, a fake voice. He does Kermit the Frog. He does Kermit the Frog jerking off with a cucumber. It's hilarious. But he does like a farmer. I forget, Maximilian is his name or whatever. But I was watching. I'm going to get to my point. I promise you. I was watching one of his videos the other day, and he was going through Omegle, and he was clicking on, and then he'd hit like on 2 young girls, both of them vaping. Then a young boy vaping. Disposables, all of them. Then another, and he'll say that he's like, how old are you? You're not even supposed to be vaping, blah blah blah. And then the kid will take us like 14-year-old kid in and just fucking hit this 50 milligram disposable vape. The same thing that's happened with Juuls has happened with the disposables for very, very obvious reasons, right? We have to understand that the only way that kids are going to stop doing this is by the government making it a smoking cessation tool and supporting it as a smoking cessation tool. There is I tell you what, if you go to your neighborhood field and you ask these teenagers, if the government said that vaping is a way for Phil Busardo to quit smoking, not one of those kids is going to say that's cool. Not one of them is going to be interested in it as well, too. But all this negative attention, man, is just drawing them to it. And it's like, why the government taking away Juuls? Now we're going to show them. It's like the spirit of fighting back that all teenagers go through, man. We went through it with cigarettes. It was the same thing. How many times my mom told me your father died from smoking? Ever since I could talk, she would tell me your father left his bones in America, because he died from smoking. And I still fucking picked it up.
Yeah. I agree with you. One part of me agrees with you. One part of me disagrees with you, because if they were to say that the reason for these products are so Phil Busardo and your grandparents don't smoke anymore, as long as they see the cartoon characters, as long as they see the bright colored boxes, as long as they get that crazy ice flavor that they love, as long as they get that 50 milligram pop, ain't gonna stop anything.
Yeah,
sorry,
I agree.
It ain't gonna stop anything.
I agree. I think that the marketing of it, being on TikTok now, I've seen companies on TikTok advertising. Instagram is huge. I think that glorification of the lifestyle has a lot to do with it as well too. But ultimately, somebody is buying these products, and somehow the kids are getting a hold of them as well too. Our laws are not working. Obviously, they're really bad. I think that the high nicotine needs to have more control over it. Right?
You know what would work? We were talking about banning stuff before.
Yeah.
Well, what if we did ban, right? And everything that available on the market was an Aries 2. You know what these kids wouldn't do? They wouldn't fucking waste time on this.
They would not.
Right? They have the attention span of an ant.
Hey,
right?
hey, little 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 Jr. Get you 2 drills. Get you some 26 on the inside and 32 on the outside. Stapled coil aliens. And start twisting that motherfucker. They'll be like, Dad, I'd rather go wash the dishes. But yeah, I get it. But
and you know what the sad thing is? If that happens, you know what they're gonna do?
What?
They're gonna go back to cigarettes. They're gonna go get them some cigarettes.
Yeah. I mean, now especially with these high nicotine, you know, nicotine is a it's a hell of a drug, man. It's just unbelievable.
Yep.
My favorite screen name on YouTube, 𝗓𝗏𝗄𝗅 P-Sheets. You can get disposables off Wish without ID. I believe that, man. I really do. I really do. By the way, I have a question for you. Have 𝗓𝗏𝗄𝗅's P-Sheets dried off by now? Because I know he's in jail. Sally says quitting smoking is a lifestyle. I think that vaping is a lifestyle in general. I think for a lot of people it's a lifestyle, but I think that the glamorization of that vaping is not. I mean, I don't know, Sally, if you're in tune with social media, but you need to get on Instagram and TikTok and see what I'm talking about. There is a glorification of vaping, and it's not being used as a marketing tool of smoking cessation. It's being used as a lifestyle. Yeah, absolutely, there is.
And you know what? I think that the age of that lifestyle has shifted.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because when it was a lifestyle for us, it was different, right?
Yeah.
It was that building lifestyle. It was that mechanical lifestyle. It was that, that kind of vapors look. Not this here I go. Not that there's anything bad with it, but that tattoo and the ear gauge, right? And they were over 18. They were over 21.
Yeah.
Right. But now walking around with that little jewel thing, that's a younger lifestyle.
Yeah. Kids use alcohol and marijuana more than they use vapor. Yeah. Nobody cares. I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I think that
Matt Cully says we can't make that comparison anymore.
Tiny Lips says we're not going to use that argument anymore. It's done.
Doesn't make any sense.
All right. Last thing. Let me look at my list here because we have this and we have this. We said this.
Oh, can I thank somebody?
Yes.
I don't know if Jennifer McKinley watches the show. And I'm very, very late to thank you for this, Jennifer. But Jennifer wrote a beautiful letter and it's a long one. You can see that is a long letter, so I'm not going to read it. But she wrote a really, really nice letter to me, and Dimitri was mentioned in the letter as well. So Jennifer, if you watch the show, thank you very much for that letter. That means a lot. And if you don't watch the show, I'm going to send you a little email and thank you personally for the letter. And I hope that you will allow me to post it on tasteyourjuice.com. So thank you, Jennifer. Really, really nice.
Yes. All right. So one of the reasons why we talked about vape shops online and all that before, and then we talked about synthetic nicotine and the perception and all that is how this is a little bit more U.S. Specific, obviously, but it's the perception. What is the perception of vaping? What is the consumer's education in America right now about vaping and the image and the knowledge and product specifications? It's so bad. It is so bad. And prime example is I'm gonna play just a little bit of this so you guys can hear what exactly we're talking about.
Are you a nicotine addict?
No, is
that Juul with marijuana? Or
no, it's a Juul with nicotine.
Oh,
and I guess I am a nicotine addict sometimes.
Yeah. How long you been doing that?
A little while.
But you don't smoke cigarettes, do you?
I
that could roughen up that voice. Kid.
I know, it's so bad.
Careful.
Well, this isn't good for my voice
Be
either.
careful.
I
think that's basically gonna just kill your body. I think it's gonna mess up your voice. I think it's gonna
I have rules. Like I'm gonna put this down in like a week, and then I'll just be away. No more.
I think it's probably better. There's a problem.
Cigarette.
It gets demonized. When something gets demonized, I have to say, okay, are they demonizing this because it's actually bad, or are they demonizing this because it's a threat to profits for an established company that has a shit ton of money? One of the things that I talked to Adam Curry, you know Adam Curry?
Okay. Yes.
You
I
know who
love
he is?
No Agenda.
He's the best.
Yeah,
He's the
I'm a big
podfather.
fan. I really like him a lot.
If not for him, none of this would be
And
possible.
John C. Dvorak. I like
Yeah,
when
they're great.
they have their little fights.
Well, they're super smart
fan,
guys,
though.
and Adam is a good friend. I love him to death.
Awesome.
I love him to death. And
Oh my God.
He's one of the reasons why I came here. Like talking to him, he's so smart. When he was high on Austin, I was like, okay, maybe he's on something. But anyway, he talked to me about this, and he said a lot of this was based on a bunch of people who died, a group of kids that died from bad e-cigarettes that were actually marijuana cigarettes.
Oh, does he smokes these things, right?
I do not know if he does that
I feel like
anymore.
he's
He may have in the past.
Remember.
I'm not exactly sure. He smokes a lot of weed though. I'll tell you that. That's a mo-
You know, I just briefly pause here. I mean, when you hear the person that is using this product, Phil, I mean, the person that's actually using the product says smokes these things.
There's, by the way, if you guys don't like Joe Rogan, I don't give a shit. I mean, there's a purpose for us playing this video, right? There's so much wrong with everything that you're hearing, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why we're playing this is because we don't understand what it looks like being out there looking in, because we are in here looking out, right? But I mean, listen to the stuff that's happening. Is that a jewel with marijuana? No. I'm smoking? No. But before we get any further with this, he said something really smart there. He said, when something is demonized, I ask myself, is it demonized because it's really bad for you? Or is it demonized because it's threatening to profits? That is a really, really key question you should be asking yourself, or the public should be asking themselves about vaping, because I think we know the answer to that.
Yeah, I just find it like, okay, it was a very important part, but it gets kind of lost in the context of everything. Here you have a woman that's saying, this is probably going to ruin my voice. That's somewhat a celebrity, whatever. But there's some people that look up to them. It's, again, misinformation. Like this should not be allowed in a product that has the potential to save, millions of smokers here in America. And it's just so bad. It is so confusing that nobody is going to look at this and take anything away from it. They're going to be so confused. And the problem is, Matt Cully, it's not all the arguments that we have made. This is the problem right here. Right? This is the problem.
Yep.
Right? This has over 1.2 million views, right? Listen here. Listen.
That motherfucker could throw down. See if you can find what that story was, Jamie. There was they
We're
were
talking about
e-cigarette, but
here,
it was
right?
e-weed. And so they were attributing it to vaping. They were saying all these kids died from vaping. And he's like, no. It was a small group of kids that died because there was a tainted product. And he said, I don't think I'm paraphrasing him. I think he was saying that it's one of those things, like we talked about earlier. It's either the outrage is because something is really, really dangerous, or the outrage is because something threatens profits of something else. And I should just, out of the way, I'm 100% in favor of you buying cigarettes.
Oh, wow.
I smoke cigars. I think you should I drink whiskey. It's not good for you.
When the mood strikes, I'll buy a pack, and then I'll go months without smoking. It's just like a thing.
I mean, you're going to talk about a value, at least put some good information out there. This guy is listened to by millions. At least he has a whole crew over there. Pull up, do a little research on this, put it on your show, and at least clarify, especially as a weed smoker, because he smokes, he's high right now, obviously, in this interview. But at least as a weed smoker, educate the people that use weed, not to buy tainted THC cards. And this does not come from it. And then you have the other chick that's flaunting this jewel that's saying, oh, yeah, well, when I get stressed, I go buy a pack of cigarettes. So what? Jewel's not working for you? I mean, look, I don't want to play the whole thing. It's Joe Rogan, whatever. It irks me. It hurts me so bad to see opportunities like this missed, and it also hurts me that our industry is not able to combat this. It hurts me that we're not able to be on a Joe Rogan podcast and say, hey, look, man, there's an issue here that is, even through your podcast, I don't know if it's the biggest podcast in America. It's probably in the top 5 for sure. You're reaching out to so many millions of people, smokers and pot smokers as well too. The least that you can do is, if you don't give a shit about smokers, at least the people that listen to you that smoke weed, educate them on getting the right product, and not to buy these shitty ass acetate, vitamin E, whatever fuck cartridges they were selling and got people sick. And actually people died from it.
You know, the good thing about the clip is that eventually he did get stuff on the screen that kind of pointed to the fact that 𝗍𝗂𝗋 was, because of the bad cartridges. I mean, but it was very, very confusing the way he was saying it. I'm like, no, vitamin E acetate, they were stretching the product. I'm like, no, but like he tried to get there. And Janine, I'm not mad. Also, the reason why I said that before, like, I don't care if you guys like Joe Rogan, because it's not. As soon as Joe Rogan got, everybody gets political. I like the guy. I don't like the guy.
Right.
I don't care. It's the misinformation and it's the confusion that we're trying to point out here. And like I said, what people on the outside like think and what they're seeing and what they see and what they don't see. Because if you're on the outside looking in, the shit's gonna kill you. Right. But vaping's going to kill you. That's the story. But when you dig and you do research, but that's the problem. You got to dig and you got to do research. You find out that it's not just vaping nicotine. It's vaping illicit THC cartridges that were cut with vitamin E acetate.
Absolutely.
Right.
𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 says that the actual show was listened to or watched to by 11 million people. That's just the clip. And I mean, 11 million people is a very, very strong number.
Yeah, and never mind just the clip. No, the ratings were just put out. He's got the biggest podcast when you compare him to even like CNN and Fox. The guy is huge.
Yeah,
they're not even a close second.
Yeah, Jason says he definitely did a disservice to the vaping community. He doesn't give a shit about the vaping community, Jason. I mean, I hate to be blunt, but unless you're a sponsor or one of these that pays ads for his podcast or whatever, he's not going to care about us at all. He does not give a shit about vapors, and nobody gives a shit about vapors except vapors. It's just us that care about each other, and we care about smokers. And I mean, look. What your opinion of it, if it's new, if it's true, or if it's fake, people listen to it. People listen to it. And you know what the irony here is? I've seen Joe Rogan being promoted by vapors when he talks about other stuff. When he talks about weed or he talks about something else, right? He's got a very powerful podcast. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, Joe Rogan's the best. And then, he says something about vaping. All of a sudden, fuck Joe Rogan. He's the worst, right? So again, the irony there is just mesmerizing. But, the perception that we have here in the United States is dismal. And I don't know if you probably saw this, but over the holidays, a couple of days before Christmas, the FDA put out another market authorization for a product out. I don't know if you heard this. 22nd Century Group got approval for their combustible cigarette that has lower nicotine levels inside. And I mean, there's so many things wrong with this. I don't know where to start. But we literally had 6 million PMTAs for vapor products that are proven to be at least 95% less harmful than smoking. And the FDA, with no big no big announcement, you didn't see it. You didn't see any major news media pick this story up. You didn't see any of the Bloombergs and all these people that are constantly putting anti-vaping ads ad. Nobody said a fucking peep. They literally market authorized 20th Century Group VLN, which is a lower nicotine combustible cigarette. Now, I don't know about you, Phil, but when I vape, if I'm vaping the mouth to lung and I have a 6 milligram, what do I do? What do you do if you have a 6 milligram in your tank instead of your normal 12?
I use it more.
You vape more.
Yeah, I vape more.
It's just a natural instinct.
But wait, there's more. I become very cranky because I don't like
that too. But your natural instinct is to vape more. That way you can get more nicotine into your body. What I am not a scientist. I don't have anything to
I know where you're going.
How does the FDA give market authorization to a combustible cigarette with lower nicotine levels and tout that this is going to be reduced harm, this is going to be harm reduction, when people that are smoking it, will it have the same addictive properties? I understand that concept. I really understand that concept. However, this should not be given market authorization as a less harmful product because it's not. It might not have the same addiction properties as a regular cigarette. So if somebody picks it up for the first time, they might not get hooked on it as fast or ever as a regular cigarette. I get that. But for smokers thinking that this is better and they go from the regular Marlboro Reds to this product, all they're going to be doing is smoking double.
Yep.
Right? So they're going to be inhaling more of the stuff that's actually causing cancer, inhaling more of the stuff that's actually going to give them COPD, inhaling more of the stuff that's going to kill them. I even saw a couple vape advocates touting this as well, too. And I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking? You know, I mean, you really have moved up to Delta 8 or something, because there's absolutely no scenario where I can see this as a recommendation, as a harm reduction product to smokers. It does not make any sense to me at all.
It's frightening. Like there's no hope for humanity. Frightening that something like that gets through as a tobacco harm product. Because in a way,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, in a way that has the potential to double harm. Right. But I mean, it's almost like you're ignoring the fact that nicotine is not the problem.
Absolutely. This is the announcement, the press announcement from 22nd. By the way, 22nd Century Group is a tobacco company. Okay, just want to make sure everybody understands. VLN is the world's first and only combustible cigarette to receive FDA MRTP designation, modified risk tobacco product. That's what MRTP. If you don't know. FDA adds evidence-based headline claim helps you smoke less to companies' requested claims. VLN, a 95% reduced nicotine content to launch in the United States within 90 days. VLN to launch outside the U.S. in the first quarter of 2022. So as somebody that's, if you're just reading this, if whatever your IQ level is, doesn't make any difference. If you're just reading this, you're like, oh, shit. The FDA just approved this cigarette, and it's got a modified risk tobacco product designation. Oh, it's got 95% reduced nicotine. They can put on the package. They can actually put on the package on the marketing, helps you smoke less. They got authorization to do that. I mean, any person that's reading that is going to say, wow, this is better than smoking. I should try this. And they're still going to die. I mean, that's literally what's going to. I tweeted them on Twitter, FDA Tobacco, this company, and CTP. I tweeted and I said, I cannot wait for the marketing launch of this. This is going to be the headline. All of the cancer, none of the nicotine. that should be the punchline for this company or so. It's
so true. I would love to see, obviously. Okay. So if they got a PMTA, there's a lot of science and there's a lot of research that they submitted. Right. Sure. And I would love to see some of that. Like, what are they basing that on? Are people really smoking that less when they start smoking it?
There's absolutely no. I mean, it's probably some altered data that they give. If you remember Jerome Adams, my good buddy, that motherfucker. Remember when he said, "Well, if there was a less nicotine combustible cigarette on the market, that would be a good thing. That would be a plus for public health in America." I mean, there's a lot of money invested in this product. They've been researching it for 7-8 years. There's a lot of interest in the background. There's a lot of people that have stock in this company. 22nd section. You can do some research by yourself. I mean, you ain't got nothing else to do with fucking COVID. You're at home. Everybody do some research and see who has stock in this company. There's a political game here, but also there was kind of a push of like, hey, we need to have something out there. We can't allow cigarettes to be out there. We can say, hey, listen, we approve this less nicotine cigarette to help people quit smoking. Whether it works or not, look, for an adult smoker, there's absolutely no way. I guarantee you that there is no smoker that's going to quit with this. Will it cut down on initiation? Well, you still have on the market 50 other brands of cigarettes that are selling. If this was the only product on the market, I would say, you know what? Yeah. If this was the only product, it might help people not start. But your government still allows 50 brands of cigarettes to be sold in every fucking C-store in America. In over 190,000 locations, you can get a cigarette, right?
Yeah. You know what's really scary about that too is it plays right into the uneducation. Is that a word?
Yeah, sure. We
The
can make it
lack
up.
of education from the public and the public smokers, because why? They think nicotine is bad, right? They don't know what the things that we know, right? So they see that, right? And they like, oh, well, this cigarette has less nicotine. Well, it's got to be better for them. Right. And you know, if they're claiming that is, what's to stop them? If it's safer, I'm just going to smoke twice the amount, right? It's safer.
It's mind blowing. I was irate. I was on Twitter tweeting everybody, and I was just like, I cannot believe that this happened. Like right before Christmas, when you know all the news media is occupied with Christmas stuff and all that. No announcements, no nothing. All of a sudden, here we go. The FDA approves a fucking cigarette. I just while they haven't approved all these other products that are definitely less harmful. It's just
I know.
I saw a question from Tony on the 217. Let's get back to the 217 real quick. He says, "I'm not a DL vapor. Then if you're not a DL vapor, you're not going to enjoy the Z-Force tank. Okay. And if you don't want to buy 21700, the 217 comes with a adapter inside, so you can use your 18650 batteries and use it. But the whole purpose of having a 217 is to use the 21700 battery. So if you don't want the battery life, there's no reason for you to get this. Get the Chroma R that takes an 18650, and it's probably cheaper now. It's probably marked down because it's been out for a few years. But the whole purpose of having a 21700 mod is to be able to use a 21700, even if you're MTL, you're gonna get 2 days of battery with the same mod.
Yeah. Do you know what the 217 does have?
What?
Hold on a second. Let me just adjust this a little bit. We'll go there. It has this thing called the 510 connection.
Yeah.
And I could screw any tank on here like this Zenith tank, and I can vape this like that. And I could do it for like a couple of days because the 21700 is an excellent cell.
Yeah.
Right. And this device is not much bigger than a Z80, right? Or a Chroma Z.
Yeah. I mean, I like the 217 because, and I use it in RDL. I use it in restricted direct long because even at 45 watts, I'll get an entire day of battery out of it. But for an MTL vapor, the only reason why you would buy, I'm just telling you to save your money. I would love for you to buy one, but save your money if battery life is not important to you, because the only reason why you would buy this is to buy it and buy a 21700 and use it in that form factor. Putting an 18650 on it kind of defeats the purpose. You're only just buying it for the looks. If you want to buy it for the looks, buy it for the looks. But from a technical standpoint, you don't need it. You know what was funny, Phil?
Please.
On the pre-show, right before the show when we were talking privately and we were cyber-sexing, we were talking about the synthetic nicotine thing. And, and I told you even then, I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I went upstairs and I told you I'm going to make an apple cider, right?
You did.
Because my throat's sore. So yes. I got these are the ones that like the pods that go inside.
Oh yeah. I get those too. Yeah. The apple cider pods.
Apple cider pods. Yeah, from
hot cider pods. Yeah, they're good.
Yes. So I want to read you what it says on the top. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, if you're gonna be able to see it there. Okay, this is what it says. Okay.
Are you gonna put your glasses on to do this?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Listen. Mott's hot apple cider. Natural flavor with other natural flavors. That's it. I swear. Look at that. Can you see that? Natural flavor with other natural flavors. This is the this is the label on this. And we're talking about synthetic nicotine? We're talking about playoffs? Playoffs? They don't even know what they're putting in this pod. It just says I don't know what the fuck I drank. It's a natural flavor with other natural flavors. That's it. That's the description I get. So listen, man, if you're not smoking, whatever even if you're vaping the worst, even if this nicotine was made in China by, I don't know, by the Chinese volleyball's sweat, the Olympic team, I promise you. I had a better one. I had a better one, but I backspaced. I promise you, I promise you that it's better than smoking.
Oh, God.
And that's all that really matters. But yeah, you're right. There's people that do care. But if there's people that care about apple cider, why aren't they doing a big stink? Why aren't people messaging Mott's and saying, what the fuck is this other natural flavor? You have it on the label, but you're not telling us what it is.
It reminds me, like, you know, when we all started vaping and there were all these questions about the materials that were being used, the silica versus the cotton versus the natural cotton, or the organic cotton, and this, that, and the other, and the rayon, the big rayon scam, and you know, you just go back and it's like, did anybody care about that cigarette that they were lighting up every day? Was anybody concerned with the type of tobacco or the type of paper that was being, or the type of filter that was being used? Or, you know, it's just it's crazy where we put our concern, and you know what, we should be concerned.
Yeah.
You know, but it's better than smoking. Right?
Yeah. It really is. People, you know, just chill out, man. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. All right. Let me see some of the comments here before we wrap it up. Let me just check my list. You have a giveaway?
I have a giveaway.
I can't wait.
I have a giveaway. So, I think it was the show that I did with Shell, or was it the show that I did with you?
I don't know.
I don't remember. But the contest was this. The contest was the next time Dimitri and I did a show together, what was going to be the odometer reading on my bike, right? And I was really hoping that I was going to break 1,000 miles, right? But the vacation, being in Jersey for a week, that killed it right there. So the odometer reading was, drum roll please,
here you go,
906 miles since I bought that bike. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. 906 miles since I bought that bike.
Okay.
Right. So
I can't wait.
Here's the winner. You ready?
Yes. What does it say? Oh, it's in Greece. 𝗂𝗧 𝗕𝗂𝗂. Congratulations, my boy. Let's go, Grecia. Let's go, baby. Oh, God.
Christos.
I can't wait till you send that shit. What are you giving them?
I got a really nice Innokin prize pack for him. But here's the plan.
Yes.
Here's the plan. What I'm going to do, Christos,
you're going to send it to me to take it to him.
I'm going to send your prize package to Dimitri.
I knew it.
And then he's going to fly to Greece. And when he gets to Greece, he's going to ship it to you. Or maybe you could even go see Dimitri. You shake his hand. He'll sign his autograph on everything that I'm going to send. So do me a favor, Christos. Like, as soon as I saw that last name, Michael 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. Like, the more syllables you have in your name, the more likely you're to be from Greece.
He might live in the States. I mean, there's Greeks in America as well too.
Could be. So if Christos, if you live in the States, you're going to get it directly from me. But if not, you're going to get it directly from Dimitri. Either way, my friend, congratulations to you. He was the closest without going over at a guess of 860 miles. To the people who guessed like 27,000 miles, thank you, but no. So anyway, you are the closest without going over. Congratulations, my friend. Please get a hold of me. You could use my Facebook, or you could use my email, ppsardo@tasteyourjuice.com, and I'll get your information and get this out into the mail or to Dimitri just as soon as I possibly can. Congratulations.
Nice.
Oh my, opinions from both ends. You are listening to the DP Show with Dimmy and Phil.
All right. We've covered it all. By the way, let me tell you about these giveaways. Can I tell you about these giveaways? Fuck these giveaways. I did a Christmas giveaway at the platform group. I gave away in the by the way, if you're not in the platform group, don't come in. Just don't. If you're just gonna come, just try to win free shit, just don't come in. But I'm a nice guy, just like Phil. And I said, for Christmas, let me do something nice. I had 5 kits, Census, Cool Fire Z80 kits, blah, blah, blah. I mean, all nice. 5 prizes. And I did a giveaway in the platform group. 4 of the winners are international. 1, Canada. 1 was Janine, sweet Janine.
Oh, good.
And then 3 of them were in Europe. UK, Ireland, and Italy. I'm a nice guy. I said that earlier. I just want to make sure I reiterate that. I got on Stamps. I have an account with Stamps. I filled out their information. Anywhere from $24 to $30 per to go to Europe.
I know.
Right?
Crazy.
So between that, Canada, I've got like $135 in shipping what it cost me that day.
Yeah.
By the way, those are not compensated by Innokin, by the way. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. It's not like
They do. All the prizes come directly from us.
The prizes come for us, and the shipping comes from us as well too. So I send them off, and I send a message to every one of them. This is your tracking number, because I'm a nice guy. You know, I'm a nice guy. The guy's excited to one. At least they have a tracking number. They can track it. Whatever. They're gonna be happy, right? I mean, don't you think that's a nice move?
Yeah, you're a good human being. Yeah, absolutely.
1 day later. 1 day later, not even 24. The package has not even left the post office. It's literally at the post office waiting to be picked up to go to, you know how it is. USPS is going to take it around my fucking ass in America before it sends it out. But anyway, it's 1 day later. The package has not left yet. I get a message from the Italian dude. Now listen, I know Italians are mad because Greeks, we always win the best lover of Europe title every year over Italians. I know you're upset. But this motherfucker sends me a message. Sir, can you tell me, what company is it going to come with? I'm on vacation with my kids. I mean, what the fuck are you vaping? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with people? What is wrong with them? You won. All you gotta do is just go on with these tracking websites, put the number in. There's e-trackers all over the internet now because so many people order online. You can just put the number. It'll tell you where it's at. This guy is asking me, even after all that I did, it makes me become the Scrooge of fucking Christmas. It ruins my fucking vacation. It ruins my Christmas spirit. I want to be happy and joyful. And I was like, whatever. I paid $135. I did a good deed. Somebody's going to get a new device. They're going to be happy. And it's not allowing me to do that, Phil. It's not allowing me to be happy. I can't be merry. It's Merry Christmas. You're supposed to be merry. And I'm grumpy. And I'm pissed.
They're used to Cranky Phil, not Cranky Dimitri.
But I'm okay now.
You okay now?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I know we're going to, well, no, actually we're okay. This year, Larry said something to me this year, and I know Larry, he's probably asleep by now, but
oh yeah, no doubt. He's on seventh dream right now. What are you talking about?
He said, he goes, it wasn't the same this year. It didn't feel like Christmas. And I said, why? Why didn't it feel like Christmas? He said, because the Taste Your Juice website did not get decorated, because I always decorate the website with the Christmas balls in the snow.
Yeah.
And there was no stocking contest this year. This is the first year, I think, since I've been doing it that I didn't do a stocking contest. Right. And do you know how many people asked me about the stocking contest?
How many?
Other than Larry, one.
Really?
One person.
Yeah, well, they don't see it, so they lose interest. That's how if they saw it, I guarantee you that you'd have 300, 400 people participate. What was the last one that you did? How many people did you have the last one? Wasn't it 300? I think I remember it was 375.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. It's usually a lot of people that enter that contest. That's usually a pretty big contest.
Yeah. But that's just it. It's like, if you're not giving away shit, nobody cares. Nobody's gonna, you know what I'm saying? If they see it, then everybody's gonna want to participate. If they don't see it, they just, they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care. I mean, it's funny. I see. I don't know if I should tell you this because I know you don't get on the internet as much as I do, but we have access to the Innokin Technology Facebook page, and I see some of these messages that these people are sending, and it's the same people over and over again. It's the same people and over. Look, if I do a contest, I do it, or if you do it, we do it because we're in the platform group. We're doing it for fun. We're doing it for our supporters. Even if somebody that's a regular wins or whatever, it's good. It's happy. We're happy to be able to do that, and share the products with our friends. We're happy to do that. But man, don't bust my fucking balls. I mean, what do you think it's leaving America to come to Italy? What do you think is going to happen the next day? I don't get it. Like, what are you trying to track the next day for a package leaving? What? I don't. I'm not gonna say it. All right. Speaking of package, let me tell you what. You know, Brad. You know, your New Jersey boy.
Yeah.
He messaged me the other day. He was drunk. Apparently, he was drunk because I was looking at his messages and I was trying not to respond. But his scepter tank broke. So, cause why, Phil? Because I'm what?
You're a nice guy.
Because I'm a nice guy. I packaged up a couple separate tanks and I put them in a package and I sent them off to fucking New Jersey. Because I'm a nice guy.
Because you're a nice guy.
'Cause I'm a nice guy.
Scepter's not even our product, really.
Not even our product. I just happen to have some tanks, so I sent it because I'm a nice guy. This guy, he's drunk. I mean, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. I mean, I like you, Brad. Don't get me wrong, but I have to bring it up. He says, "Hey, if you got anything else to throw in there that's cool that you want me to test out, throw it in there." I swear to God, I had an idea. To put a cum rag in there. I really did. I was like, "Here, you want to test this out? Test this out." But I didn't. I didn't do it. I just sent him the tanks because I'm a nice guy.
You're a nice guy.
The next day, Brad apologized. He said, "I've been drinking a little bit, but I'm a nice guy."
By the way, if you would put the cum rag in there, you would not have qualified for a nice guy. You would not have been a nice guy.
You're absolutely right. I thought about that because you know what's going to happen afterwards. He's going to go post it on the internet. And he's like, "Oh, designer for Innokin sends,
we can't afford to be canceled yet."
I bust your balls, Brad. I bust your balls, buddy. I still happy that I was able to assist you, and you can use your scepter. You can continue to use your scepter. Scepter 2 is coming, by the way. I don't know if people know that, but Scepter 2 is coming. So exciting. You know what I did today? I did fill up a scepter. You know,
we have a new tank coming too.
Yeah, we have a new tank coming. Well, that takes existing coils.
Yes.
So yeah, very, very excited. We're waiting on the prototype now to test it out. So we'll let you know how that goes. The design is almost finished and very, very exciting. You know, my throat's been sore. I've been trying not to vape a lot because it dries me up. I filled up a scepter and I put 20 milligram e-liquid inside just to take like a couple of puffs and not have to vape too much. But now through the show, I've vaped 5 devices constantly. You know?
Well, maybe you should stop talking now. Maybe we should just end the show now.
Do it. Let's end it.
Yeah.
Phil, I wondered about the stocking contest, but I didn't want to bother you about Team Free Shit on your Christmas vacation. See, there you go. Red Vape's such a nice guy. See, that's the way. That's the way it is.
It's okay.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should
I don't mind being asked. Actually, that question would have made me feel good. That would have been like, you know, you're used to the contest and you're missing it around the holiday times. So
Kid Bass says, how to get her number? He didn't. He just messaged me on Facebook Messenger. Look, I see all the messages, whether they're in the inbox or not. If they're in the other folder, I look at the message. If it's stupid, I just don't reply to it. I act like I never saw it. But if it's a serious one, I will reply to it. And I mean, if you look at my other message, I mean, some of the stuff that's in there is just mostly, you know, hey, buy this, low MOQ, stuff like that.
Oh my God, I love it. No, the latest thing, like I remember. Back in the heyday, that's what it was. It was like nonstop requests for reviews.
Yeah.
Nonstop sales, trying to sell you something. Now they're trying to sell me stripper poles. You saw that. Like low MOQ, all of that stuff. Now it's like, we want to cooperate you. We want to send you this for your YouTube channel. We want you to advertise this on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They just must look at like, and it has nothing to do with what I'm doing on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many emails like that now. It's ridiculous. They just probably look at your count, your subscriber count, and they just send you shit to. So I would imagine like with the number of subscribers that I could probably make like a ton of money.
I think that I think you should start doing some reviews for random products. Just today, Fagan did a review on a cheap guitar on his channel.
Did he?
Look.
Oh, yeah, but Fagan plays a guitar.
I don't know how crossover YouTube reviewers will be in mainstream. I have not seen anybody do it successfully so far.
Right.
I hope they do. But I would love to see you do reviews on products that interest you that are non-vapor related. I would love just try it out. Do a couple of videos. Look at that list. See, I know anything that has to do with home automation, you're interested in. Anything that has to do with Star Wars, you're interested in. Anything that has to do with porn, sex toys, you're interested in. Anything that has to do with outdoor kitchen stuff, you're interested. You know, pick up a couple of things and do some videos and see how it goes.
Yeah, it's like the only problem with that is, and I was talking to a friend of mine, you know, 𝗍𝗂𝗧𝗧, Coach 𝗍𝗂𝗧𝗧, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about that. We were talking about starting a channel, and every idea that we had, and every like review style that we had, and every like you look out there, and it's just all being done, right?
Sure.
And not only is it all being done, but it's being done to a professional level. I mean,
Absolutely.
some of these channels now
are
really good. I mean, they're really good. And the problem is like there's teams of people that are, I mean, there's a face behind the channel, right? But there's a team of people behind that face that's doing all the work, doing all the research, writing the copy, doing the editing, right? And it just it looks really good. So there's a huge amount of competition, and if I were to do any of this stuff, it really wouldn't be to make money. It would be just to kill time.
I'm not even telling you to do it for money. I'm just doing it because I think that you would enjoy and it would break you out of this vape funk. I think it really would. Here's a very good suggestion: review suitcases.
Could you imagine like there would be like a drop test, a drag test, like a ship it to China test, like all kinds of that'd be fun.
I guarantee you that Chinese one would not make the list.
No, definitely not.
Pool cleaner reviews. There's another one. These are really good suggestions. That's a really good suggestion. Phil doing reviews on sex toys. Yes, he's talked about this in the past. Barbecue reviews. That's a good one too. But what I'm saying is that I think that would keep you occupied, and it would cross over a little bit. By the way, here's another suggestion. Phil as a crossover reviewer wouldn't do as well as Phil as a cross-dressing reviewer. But I'm saying it would. I think it would help get your mind off, you know, the vaping, and I think it would be fun. That's all.
Yeah, if I want to break out the camera equipment again.
Yeah. If you want to, if you want, I hear you. Brother.
You know.
All right. For those of you, we appreciate you. I know it's been a few weeks since we've had a show, and but we're back. We're going to try to do a couple shows this month. Next month, I'm going to be going to Europe again. So,
what do you think? Do you think eventually you're going to be 50 here, 50 there?
Yeah. Probably more than 50 at some point when my little one finishes high school. By the way, my daughter Lena, she got a job.
Really?
For 2 hours a week, her dance studio has hired her to be an assistant teacher in dance for 3.5-year-olds. She's very excited. Started today. 2 hours.
Very cool.
Not a lot of money, but it's something very, very exciting for her. So.
Congratulations on that. Yeah, she's a good kid.
Just a second. Let me.
You taking a selfie?
Here no, I'm sending.
What was that?
Somebody's being upset that I'm not replying.
Oh,
I just send him this and just make him feel bad.
I reply a lot, but 2 days later, but I reply.
But yeah, so that was my exciting news today with
That's
Lena.
nice.
So yeah, it was nice.
That's nice.
All right, we hope you enjoyed.
I love. By the way,
yeah.
I love the little reveal you did with her makeover bedroom. That was cute.
Yeah, she really loved that. Well, I mean, the girls did. Connie and Maria did all that work. I just paid for it, but yeah, they started off with a small project, and then they overhauled the whole thing. So she was happy. She's got her own space now up there. So everything's good.
Good.
All good.
Good.
Do a like on this video if you guys love us. At least a little like. That will put it in the algorithm of these fucking YouTube, so somebody else can see it as well too. Did you mention what side of the 10-year challenge pick was Phil? That 10-year challenge is so stupid. I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but whatever. It's dumb.
What? Oh, the age picture thing?
Yeah. It's so dumb. Anyway, all right. Give us a little like. Share this video if you enjoyed it. And we're probably going to be back next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. with a DP show. Everybody, have a wonderful evening. Phil,
you have a wonderful evening too. Thank you everybody for watching us. Thank you for hanging in there with us. We're sorry we were gone for a little while, but here we are. And ladies and gentlemen, I am 52 years old. I have been vaping since 2009 and ain't nothing wrong with me. How about that?
Yeah. And you've
Yep.
vaped synthetic nicotine as well. As far as I'm concerned, hi, I don't care. Thanks.